All right, shalom, shalom. First off, you all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. This is the brother Karatazar from the GMS Nebraska camp coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai. This one being entitled mountains are governments, or mountains are equal to governments. And just doing some reading, and we just came across this today, so we all thought it'd be a good edifying lesson to go through. Um, so let's start it off with let's get the scripture. So this is Baruch chapter 5 and verse 7. It says, "For the Most High have appointed that every high hill and the banks of long continuance should be cast down, and the valleys filled up, and valleys filled up to make even ground, that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Most High." So when it's talking about every high hill, all right, they're speaking of these governments. All right, these governments are going to be, knocked down, so to speak. Okay, and that valley is a representation of Israel. Because right now, let's get this real quick. Is Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. It says, "I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth." So, this is that hill or that mountain, being as a mountain, being um standing at a high stature. All right, princes walking at, or sorry, princes walking as servants upon the earth. That represents that low stature or a valley. Okay, so the scripture said that it's going to knock down that mountain. It's going to pull up that valley. All right, so that everything's going to be laid straight, so to speak. Okay, those mountains who have oppressed us, or those nations who have oppressed us, will be brought down, and then us who have been in such a low place, or we're going to be pulled up to our rightful place. So let's get this definition of summit. Okay, a summit is the highest point of a hill or a mountain, right? So so over here where it says every high hill, you can replace that with summit. Okay, well, what's also known as the summit, and Apostle Aramlab gets into this a lot. A call shalom, shalom, to the apostle. Says a summit meeting is a formal gathering of high-level officials, usually heads of state, right? These heads of nations, they get together, what's called a summit, all right, to discuss important issues. Summits are often highly publicized and have tight security. So when you read this word, or go into this word summit, all right, it's speaking about these nations getting together, further proving that these hills are speaking about nations. You have what last year you had the sixth BRICS summit, right? Which is for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, amongst other nations. All right, so these countries had a summit, which was a meeting, okay, a gathering, all right, a formal gathering, all right, with heads of state, heads of those countries, and they discuss important issues at this summit. All right, so when you see this high hills and mountains, that's what it's speaking about. So let's give an example. This is Obadiah 1 and 8. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau, right? The mount of Esau. So what's the mount of Esau? Okay. So we get that word mount, and it's Strong's H 2022 har, and it says hill, mountain, hill country, or mount. So it's talking about a mountain or a hill. So when you go into it, he said that he's going to destroy understanding out of the mount of Esau, so the nation of Edom, pretty much. I wonder what it says in the NLT. And at that time, not a single wise person will be left out of the whole land of Edom, saith the Lord. For on the mountains of Edom will I destroy everyone who has understanding. All right, then didn't give too much context, but it's talking about the whole nation. But it said it said the whole nation, didn't it? Let me go back. Yeah, the whole land of Edom. Because it's speaking about all of Edom, right? When it talks about the Mount of Esau, the whole nation. All right. Let's get Isaiah 25:7. It says, and he will destroy in this mountain, all right, which this mountain that it's talking about is here in America, here in Babylon the Great. All right. It says he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, right? Because of Babylon is spewing its Babylonian juice. Let me see. Let me see. How does it go? Kind. All right, where was I at now? Jeremiah 51. Was it 51 and what? And 7. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. So these nations have drunken Babylon's, elixir, all right, which is speaking about, its philosophies, pretty much. It's taking on its ways, the alphabet rainbowism, okay, women's rights, all right, white Jeebus, all of these different doctrines, is being pushed on the whole world. So that's the covering cast that's covering all people. It says in the veil that is spread over what? All nations. So the Lord's going to destroy America, all right, for its spreading of its wine, the spreading of all his doctrine, of all his BS bullshit doctrine over the world, right? So so we read Baruch 5:7 says, for the Most High have appointed that every hill and the banks of the long appointed that every high hill and the banks of long continuous should be cast down, and the valley filled up, to make even ground, that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Most High. Well, here's a direct precept for it. This is Isaiah 40:7. It says, every valley should be exalted. Remember, Israel, as that valley is going to be exalted, we're going to be brought up. Okay, we're going to be brought up. Okay, and every mountain and hill should be made low. Right, the other nations are going to be brought down. All right, they're going to be brought down, and the cricket should be made straight. Right, so when you get into that word cricket, all right, it's Strong's H121, a Quab. All right, it says deceitful, sly, insidious, slippery, steep, hilly. So being deceitful, being polluted. All right, cricket, deceitful. Let's see if we can get it in the etymology. What was it, cricket? Yep, in the cricket. Cricket, bent, curved in shape, and figurative, dishonest, false, treacherous, not straight in conduct, right? America is not straight in its conduct, all right, amongst other things, is wicked, is treacherous. So all the treachery is going to be made right. Well, we got to get it. Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Right? So everything's going to be made straight. All the crookedness that's been going on throughout the world, all right? All the cheating, the lying, the stealing, all that's going to be made right, okay? Once the Lord has come back and set everything how it's supposed to be, all right? The Most High, Yahushai, the 12 disciples, the men of the Lord, all right, the Israelites, and then everybody else. And the people are going to rejoice. All right, they're going to be able to live in an honest system. All right, and the rough places are going to be made plain. So everything's going to be as it's supposed to be, as the Most High intended it originally. So that's all I really wanted to get with this. Lord's will, this was nice little quick hit and edifying. So we give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Give double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, all the men and women who follow. Hey, Shalom.